Lights, camera, and action. Welcome to the I Remember Liking That Movie podcast. Remember those childhood movies you loved? We're going to watch them again and find out if they're still as amazing as you remember. Let's get ready to join Anna and Jimmy as they go back and watch those movies you remember being oh so awesomely good. Horror movies that scared. Comedy movies that dared. Damn! And action movies so preposterously ludicrous that they defied the laws of common sense. Now, here's your hosts, Anna Santos and Jimmy Coates.
I love that wrench to the fucking head. Oh, Dodgeball.
It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, let's get rid of this. How was your New Year?
It was nice and quiet, just the way I like it. I'm so over seeing people on New Year's. I'm like, I want to stay home in my pajamas and eat good food.
Yeah, that's pretty much what we did too.
Yeah. Did the kids make it till midnight?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All of them?
Yeah, all of them.
Impressive.
I wanted to go to bed.
They're just fucking up. They're fucking up your game. They're like,
Mhm.
nah, man, we're staying up till 3.
And I'm using a straw because I got a slushy machine for Christmas, which sucks. It doesn't suck. It works great. The problem is that in order for the slushy machine to work, it needs sugar. It cannot slush if there is no sugar. So every drink I have is loaded with sugar. And the kids want slushies every day.
I mean, this is the only reason I haven't purchased one.
Oh,
Because I would literally spend my life just making slushies.
they're so good.
Yeah.
Pop is awesome as a
Yeah.
slushie. We just buy those container of fruit juices.
Yeah.
Grape, peach, cherry, awesome slushies. We bought some icy slush puppy syrup stuff. Yeah, it's all good. You can put like coffee as long as you put creamer and stuff with sugar in it. It turns into it's an ice cap.
Yeah.
You can buy the Starbucks ones that are just already
pre-mixed.
Dump
Pop
them
it
in
there.
Yeah. So this thing sucks.
Well, no, this is why I don't have one. I would make a slushie every day, and then chances are I'd add tequila to it, and all of a sudden I'm having margaritas 24/7.
It has a margarita and stuff settings and all that stuff. Yeah, I'm like, well, I can put some coffee in there, some Baileys in there. That'd be a good ice cap.
That'd be fucking delicious. Do it.
Took down all the Christmas stuff. I got movies. These are all movies we these are movies that I bought that we actually like. There's Beetlejuice and Gremlins and some ones I don't like Halloween 2 over there. And
it's okay. It's okay. That's fantastic.
And I noticed I bought a lot on I was going through my Amazon. I purchased quite a few. Yeah, but I think almost all of them were discount.
Oh yeah.
So I did watch some Christmas movies over the holidays. Actually, just after Christmas, I kept watching Christmas movies right up until December 30th.
I'm still watching Christmas movies.
All right.
Of course.
Well, these are ones that I haven't seen. And Carry On Netflix, I watched. Did you watch this one?
I haven't. I was going to this week, but I got distracted by something and I don't remember what it was. But this is definitely on my list, and I'm probably going to watch it this weekend.
If you turn off all common sense, anything that you would go, hey, that wouldn't work, or if you turn that off going into it, this movie's fantastic. It's great. It is a great movie, and Jason Bateman, awesome villain, amazing villain.
Jason Bateman is just a really great actor for creepy guys.
Yeah.
Like, he gives off such good creep that I'm like, you should play more villains.
Oh, yeah, and he plays a great one here. And it has one of the best highway car accidents I have ever seen in my life. It is just fantastic. But it's really good. I will
Mhm.
definitely watch it again next Christmas. Again, if you're watching or listening to this, turn your common sense off.
Yes.
Don't go in looking for plot holes, and you'll like Carry On.
But I feel like you need to do that for most,
For a lot of movies, yeah.
for a lot of action movies,
No,
especially.
this one's pretty like, why wouldn't they just do this? Why wouldn't they just do that? If you set that aside,
Yeah.
I watch Better Watch Out.
Did you love it?
I was ready for standard home invasion. That's what I was looking for. What a twist. I was
I
not
know.
expecting it. It didn't even dawn on me until it happened. Yeah, a
Same.
completely original
Yep.
action horror Christmas movie. Yeah, I
It
like.
is one of my favorite Christmas movies. Well, especially Christmas horror, especially because it comes out of nowhere. Like the first time I watched it, I was like, "What?"
I didn't like the second ending where
No.
he was like, I didn't like. They should have just left it at her giving him that fucking finger. That
Mhm.
was amazing. That was
Yep.
great. Yeah, that was a good one. And I finally I didn't watch it last year. I finally watched
Yeah.
Holdovers. This should have won awards.
Yeah, I believe that.
This movie was that good. And it's about 3 different people, and all 3 of the people on the poster are get shared time.
Mhm.
And the acting is so amazing across the board.
I haven't
Like,
watched this yet. I'm terrible.
it is so good.
I may watch it this weekend because I
Yeah,
keep forgetting it's there because
I almost forgot too.
Prime keeps adding more stuff, and then I get lost in the stuff, and then I'm like, "Wait, there was something I wanted to watch."
Yeah,
I
no,
need to start making lists.
it is fantastic. All right, so I paid 20 some odd dollars for this thing.
How did that go for you?
Okay. If you're a fan of sword and sandal movies,
Yes.
it's great. It is a
Yeah.
great movie. Is it as good as Gladiator with Russell Crowe? Not even close. Doesn't even come close to being as good. And I get it. Like I'm sure you saw it in previews of the guy riding the rhino.
Yeah.
I mean, it's CGI. You can kind of tell. It looks good, but you can tell. And I mean, what are you going to do? Go to Africa, find a rhino as a baby, love it, train it in hopes that you're going to do a movie in 20, 30 years. I get you have to use CGI. Sharks. You're going to have to get live sharks in it. It's all CGI. But the acting is good. It's got stellar cast. It's a stellar cast.
Oh, no, it is a stellar cast.
The plot makes sense. It's stupid, but it does actually make sense. But as far as an action movie goes, it's fine. You could have done this plot with these actors and had nothing to do with Gladiator, the first movie. Just did a new one. But it's okay. Is it worth the amount of money I paid for it? No.
Yeah.
I'd rent it or buy a.
My niece went to go see it, and she was like, it was the biggest waste of time ever.
Yeah,
and I was like, I never wanted to watch it because I was like, what is the sequel to Gladiator?
Well, they do it. They do. It does make sense.
Yeah,
Like
no, she told me there was a link, but I was like,
Yeah,
but why?
but
Why
it's
do you
such
want to
a-
do it?
Yeah. Yeah, it was one of those like, why? Why would you?
Mm-hmm.
But
I'll
if
get
you
around
take
to
it kind of
watching
on its own and you like the action and you like that
Yeah.
type of stuff, it's okay. It's worth a rental.
See,
Or
for
if
me,
you
this is one of those I'd wait until it shows up on a streaming
and it'll
service.
show up on a streaming, and that you'll probably enjoy it a lot more if you hadn't really paid money for it. I paid a lot of money for it. I'll probably watch it again, obviously, but I would have been fine if I didn't pay that much. And I watched Wicked.
And how much did you love it?
I didn't. But this movie was not made for me.
Yeah.
And I have all girls in my house, and they wanted to watch it, and we watch it. And really, it's not a bad movie at all. There's
No, I've
nothing wrong
heard
with
it's
this movie.
amazing.
It's very colorful, it is a musical. I knew that going in. It's a lot longer than I thought. It's almost 3 fucking hours.
I was gonna say it's like 3 hours long, and I'm like,
long.
I like musicals.
That's a
I don't know
lot.
if I like them that much, to be perfectly honest.
But it never seemed to slow down.
Okay. That's
So
good. That's good.
it kept a pretty decent, like, at the end of the day, the movie is very well done. It's very well acted. Aside from the girl who played the Green Witch there, who
Mhm.
had that little hissy fit because people made a poster of her, which was really something they were trying to do an homage to, and she was like,
No, but I can kind of understand why. I can kind of understand where she kind of got the ump about that, and I get it, because they only altered her. They didn't do anything to Ariana Grande
no,
to match the original theatrical poster.
no. But if you look at the
So I
theatrical
kind of get
poster,
it.
Ariana Grande, she's
Yeah,
white.
but there was some stuff that still needed to be changed, that you could change to, if you were really going to match it to the theatrical poster, then
Yeah,
there should have been changes to Ariana Grande too, but there weren't. So it
I
became
thought
a
the
whole
poster that they made was very cool because they did alter it, and she did come out and say, you know what, I kind of like overreacted a bit and
yeah.
da 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 da. But yeah, no, it's well acted. The music's catchy.
Mm,
Yeah, again, it's not made for me. It's not my
no,
movie. Now that
no.
I know that 4 or 5 more are coming out after this, I'm not that excited.
I
But
was gonna say, I was like, you realize this is just part one.
yeah, and it ends on a giant cliffhanger. After 3 hours, a giant cliffhanger. I'm like,
And
"Are
it's
you
literally
fucking
like a
kidding
year
me?"
until the next one comes out.
Yeah. So I'm probably gonna, again, I have a house full of girls. I'm probably gonna watch the next one and the one after that, or how many ever they make. But yeah,
Yeah,
it's not a bad movie. If you have to sit down and watch it, it's fine.
I'll wait until it hits streaming. Just
Yeah.
because I'm not that big. Like, there are musical theater people who love Wicked. Like, they are obsessed with it.
Oh, they're
I'm
having
not one of those people.
problems with people singing along in theaters,
Oh yeah,
and
there
people
was
that
like,
wanted to just like watch it.
they were like, I want to hear the people sing, not you in the audience.
Yeah, you suck. Shut up.
I paid the ticket to hear them singing.
Yeah.
So, and then they had some like special sing along viewings.
Yes,
where
that
they were
was
like,
very smart.
I was like, good call, good call. They should have had some silent ones where they were like, don't even think about singing along. But this is one of those where I was like, I've always wanted to see the musical in theaters, but I never got around to it. When it was in Toronto, I didn't make it. When I went to New York, I didn't see it. I think it was playing once when I was in London, but I was like, I kind of just want to go to like plays in London. So that was mostly what I did. But I mean, I'll wait until it hits streaming and then I'll watch it then. Because I'm not that enthused by it, we'll say. But it looks really good. It looks super pretty.
Yeah.
It looks incredibly well
Oh, it
done.
looks amazing. Like
Yeah.
the artwork and the practical, like the digital almost seems seamless.
Yeah.
Obviously there's digital in it, but it almost seemed, and they did a lot of practical effects. They did a
Mm.
lot of practical whatever, like buildings and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
like
Yeah.
sets and stuff like that.
Yeah. And it looked amazing. It looks fantastic. It sounds fantastic. Yeah.
I believe you.
LA is burning.
LA is on fire.
Burn,
Like,
baby, burn.
it's dude. But it's like, this is, I'm
You
so
sinners.
terrible. Because I'm like, look, I am very sad that you lost your homes. And there are some people like Billy Crystal, when he talked about his house burning down, he was like, you know what, this is the house that I raised my kids in and my grandkids. There was a lot of love in that house, and now it's all gone. And I'm like, I feel for that. But the people who had the $60 million like brand spanking new houses in the Pacific Palisades, I'm like, you're literally just gonna rebuild.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, these for the most part, these are people with resources.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's sad to see, because there were a lot of historic homes that were gone. At one point, they were worried about the Hollywood sign being taken out. I don't know if it's still up. But the fire was sweeping through like all through Los Angeles and all through Malibu. And I'm like, holy crap.
Yeah.
It's moving like crazy. And then there are still people who are sitting there going, climate change is not a thing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, have you seen what's happening?
This is all those homeless people smoking. That's what did this.
To be perfectly honest, it was probably some random like
It's probably
actor
something stupid.
who was putting on some like performance art thing in his backyard.
Fireworks.
And then all of a sudden everything's up in flames and he's like, I don't know how that happened. It was all a surprise.
Yeah. All right. All right. So we talked about that. Anything Hollywood or entertainment you would like to see? Anything you want to go watch or you're going to watch or?
Oh, I saw some previews that now I can't remember. I swear to God. I was like,
I
need
saw
to
a
remember
preview
that.
for 28 Years Later.
I
That
haven't
was
seen a
one of the
preview for that yet.
greatest trailers I have ever fucking seen.
Really?
A trailer that has made me want to. Never have I seen a trailer. I probably have, but lately, never have I seen a trailer that has made me want to go watch a movie more than this goddamn movie.
What was? Oh, I saw a trailer for Hard Eyes, and I was like, that looks amazing. It is a horror movie, and it comes out right before Valentine's Day. And it's basically this killer who has like glowing heart eyes and just goes around hatcheting people up. And I'm like, I love it. I love it.
Have you seen a preview for Superman yet? The new Superman?
No, I haven't.
The James Gunn one? It looks okay.
I haven't seen that one. I think I saw like the small like teaser trailer and I was like, oh, okay. Superman. Yeah. I saw the Captain America Brave New World. I saw that trailer.
Yeah.
I like that one. Yeah. So I'll probably end up watching that. But I mean, I'm so behind on all my Marvel stuff. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I'm probably going to spend next week catching up on Marvel, I think. I have a lot of catching up to do.
They're hit and miss after Endgame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little I finally got around to watching Trap today.
Yeah, I did see your trailer reaction.
Yes.
And I did say you said you're going to go watch that before you watch Assault on Precinct 13.
And I did. And you know what?
Was it good? I haven't seen it yet.
You know what? It was very entertaining, and it's funny because you always know that M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah, there's something.
There's always a twist. Always. Yeah. He always throws a loop at you. And he threw a loop in this one, of course. But this one I was really slow to pick up on because I thought there was going to be I thought it was going to be a different. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, is that where we're going with this? Oh, shit. That's good. So I enjoyed it. And then there's like a mid-credits scene, which made me laugh. So if you're watching it, watch the first bit of the credits, and then there's a scene, and then it just goes to the rest of the credits.
Yeah, Longlegs is popped up, I think, on Prime. I haven't seen that yet. I want to see that. Yeah, there's a whole. Yeah. I'm so fucking.
Dude, I literally just watched Cross, the series on Prime with Aldous Hodge. It's Alex Cross. Based on the books and the various movies and
okay,
whatever. So good, such a good series. I'm sneezing. Thank you. The sneezes are coming out of nowhere. I'm like, where are you coming from? But yeah, so good. So I watched that this week. I also every once in a while when I need a comfort watch, I'll watch some kind of cooking show. And I made the mistake of starting MasterChef Australia season 13 because it's on Prime. So I was like, yeah, whatever, I'll watch it. I thought it was going to be like a normal show that has like 20, 22 episodes. Okay. Or like 18. No, there were like 60 episodes.
Nice.
Yeah. It went on forever.
One season?
For one season.
Jesus Christ.
Apparently they air like 3 episodes a week.
Kind of like that when Big Brother was.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I finally finished that. Then I moved on to Cross, and then I got to watch Trap, and then I watched Assault on Precinct 13 today, and then I think tomorrow I'm gonna do a comfort watch of Tremors because it's on Netflix right now.
There is a 4K release, and it has all this stuff added to it, and all this, but it's like $40. That's a lot.
That's a little steep.
Like, I
That's
like
a little
Tremors. I don't know if I liked it that much.
I for some reason love Tremors.
It's
Like,
one of my favorites.
It is absolutely one of my favorites, and I made my
Yeah.
niece watch it, and she loved it too.
Oh,
And I was like, you know what? This is just fucking quality. I love this movie. And then I told her about all of the sequels. I was like, dude, there's like
that
5
get
of these
worse
movies.
and worse.
They get
as
worse
go
and
on,
worse
but
and worse and worse,
so
but they're
good.
so good. Oh,
Yeah, even the
they're
TV show.
amazing.
All right, for those watching on YouTube, we are talking about entertainment and stuff, other movies and stuff like that. But now, let us watch Assault on Precinct 13. The trailer.
What the hell is this? Fun and games? Does anybody work around here anymore?
It was the night Precinct 13 was supposed to close its doors forever.
No offense, officer, but we're closing down. We're short-staffed.
Central said we park here overnight until the road's clear.
Until Detroit's most lethal prisoners changed everything.
I'm responsible for everybody in here. That's my job. I assume you know who I am, Sergeant. You're a gangster. That's accurate. He's a cop killer.
Who the hell are you?
What the hell's going on?
They're surrounding the place.
The phones aren't working.
I found this out there.
Why are cops coming to kill us?
One of my partners in crime is your fellow officer, Marcus Duval. If I make it to court, his whole team goes to jail. They can't allow me to leave this precinct alive. They can't allow any of us to leave here alive.
All right, choose a weapon. Anything you see.
The only thing more dangerous than the criminals on the inside
I got mine, baby.
What, are you gonna trust these freaks? They need us as much as we need them.
are the cops. On the outside,
When this is over, you're going back to jail. This ain't about me and you. Not yet. We gotta put them all down. Without pause. Without regard.
from the producer of Training Day, Ethan Hawke, Laurence Fishburne, John Leguizamo, Ja Rule, Andrea Di Matteo.
We all gotta start trusting each other right now if we're gonna make it through this night.
Assault on Precinct 13.
All right, Assault on Precinct 13.
Yep.
That's movie time.
You heard them. Movie time. Let's all go to the lobby and get ourselves a treat, and then watch a classic kick-ass movie from whenever the one we're about to watch was made.
So you thought you were gonna like the movie?
Yes, I did.
I did. The trailer was fine. I didn't think the trailer, after watching the movie, the trailer didn't do the movie as much justice. But okay, so what did you think of your initial thoughts of the movie?
My initial thoughts of the movie, good solid action movie, but now I understand why I only saw it once.
Yeah. I'm kind of glad I don't, because I forgot almost everything.
Me too. True story. When I was watching the trailer and they're like Ja Rule, I was like, Ja Rule.
Yeah.
Ja Rule's in this? What?
And like,
I was
look, that's Kim Coates. Oh, that's Brian Dennehy.
Yeah, I saw Maria Bello
going on?
and I
Yeah.
was like,
The girl
so
that's
cool.
Coyote Ugly girl, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
she is Coyote Ugly. And then
Yeah.
Andrea Di Matteo is in it, who I
From
love.
Sopranos. Yeah.
She really should have done more movies where she was just like a kick-ass woman who took no shit. I like that was I think she should have gone around shooting people more. But once I started watching it, like there was a lot where there was like I don't know if her name is pronounced Aisha or Aisha Hines. She plays Henrietta on 911. So when I saw her, I was like, Henrietta. But there are so many people, so many actors that you recognize, like Canadian actors, non-Canadian actors, like everybody. It's amazing.
Well, what I liked about this movie was I actually saw because I probably watched this back in 2005.
Mm. I
Or
think I saw it in
2006, something like that.
2007, 2008, whenever it hit the screens and like the TVs.
Yeah. Change that blue. There we go. That's better. And I watched Assault on Precinct 13, the 1975 one, I think, after like I watched it more recently. Again, haven't seen it since around 2006, 2007.
I haven't seen it at all. The 1970s one.
Oh no?
No.
Well, they
At least I
changed
don't
it.
think so.
They changed it enough because Assault on 13 1975 was about, again, a criminal being held at Precinct 13, but it is his crew that assaults the precinct and is trying to get him out, and they're cut off, and so they changed it up here, which I appreciate. So if we want to go to Rotten Tomatoes,
yes,
because I have not looked at. Well, actually, I'm gonna go to Box Office Mojo first.
Oh yeah,
because I have not looked at any of this. I thought it was much more fun when I had no idea.
It's nice to discover it together.
Yeah, and I didn't even want to bring it up and have it ready because as soon as you do, you see it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to share.
It's new and exciting.
Yeah. All right. 2005. So I had a budget of 30 million. Oh, it only made 35 million worldwide.
Oh,
so
Jesus.
it didn't do well. But we're
No.
still in the rental period of 2005, so it might have
beyond the box office at home
Yeah.
rentals, they would have still made a good amount of money.
Yeah. And who'd you open? Did you open at number 1? Open on January 21st. Not a great time to open. No. And it opened, I think, at 5th. Are We There Yet? Was number 1. Coach Carter.
Oh,
Meet the Fockers, In Good Company, and Assault on Precinct opened up at 5th place with 8.6 million.
Okay, I kind of get it. Why they would have been so low.
Yeah. So not, and I said this before, the 2000s, early 2000s was known for comedy, just comedy at the wazoo. But there was a lot of action movies in the early 2000s, like this, with a lot of good actors in it, and yeah. So if you want to go to, I will start with the good, and if you want to find a couple bad,
yeah. And Rotten Tomatoes.
Rotten Tomatoes. All right. Oh, it's that. Okay, here, I'll bring this up for everyone to see. Where are you, Rotten Tomatoes? There you are. Okay, so 163 reviews comes in at 60%. That's not bad.
That's not bad.
No. 48% from the audience, over 50,000. That's surprising.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Usually the audience is a lot more forgiving.
Okay, so I have from, if you want to look for some bad ones, I will look for some good ones. Sloan Freer for Radio Times. Every frame of this film crackles with raw energy as Richard cranks up the tension economically. Oh Jesus, maybe I should have done this before.
As Riche cranks up the tension, economically exploiting sight, sound, and extreme violence to gripping effect. There you go.
3 out of 5. Thank you.
Do you want me to do a bad one now?
Sure.
Or okay. Well,
go ahead.
Yeah, a very empty experience when you pit it against Carpenter's Assault on Precinct 13.
No, I haven't seen that one in a long time, but
Yeah.
no, it's the same, but enough difference to make it um worthy of existing. Uh Assault on Precinct 13 is fun, engaging, and a little cliched, but amongst the recent crop of bland action films for the whole family, it stands tall as an example of how to do one right. Joshua Starnes, comingsoon.net.
Damn. Oh shit. An idiotic remake of John Carpenter's Crackerjack B thriller from 1976 panders to the lowest common denominator by changing the original street gang villains to white cops. And that's from Chuck O'Leary. And I feel like Chuck didn't appreciate the rewrite.
No.
I didn't mind it.
No. Daniel Etherington from Film 4 says a dark, exciting, and enjoyable action thriller for adolescent boys of all ages.
There you go.
Hmm.
I am not an adolescent boy, but I mean, okay. The central problem with this film is its essential uselessness. It does its job, I guess, but the job was already done a lot better a long time ago. That score was 1.5 out of 4 from Kurt Loder at MTV.
Ooh, I remember Kurt Loder. I remember watching him on MTV.
Mhm.
Let's see. I'm gonna see if I can find someone. Okay, the premise may be outlandish, the action unrealistic, and sometimes silly, and the characters formulaic, but the movie rips and roars. 3 out of 4. Michael Willington, Chicago Tribune. So that's not bad.
Let me see. There were quite a few,
Yeah, there's a lot of
like
there's a
pretty
lot of-
decent.
yeah.
There's also just a lot of like, although I will say this, there's one. This is actually a nice one, I guess.
Yep.
Ken Tucker from New York Magazine / Vulture wrote Fishburne. Fishburne even manages to make crass violence witty. I'm like, valid. He's awesome. Yeah, most of them are kind of insulting good reviews.
Yeah. Yeah, and you have way too many good actors in this movie for it to like suck.
Yeah, like that's see, like this one, Mark Savlov from the Austin Chronicle gave it a score of 1.5 out of 5. He says it's not so much a case of being a bad movie as it is a pointless one. And
Most
I'm like,
movies are pointless.
right? I'm like, it's just to tell the story.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
we all
yeah.
can't. I don't want to watch like a uplifting and I don't want to be inspired every time I sit down on the couch.
Tell me about it. I remember there was a time where everybody tried to like stick like deep meanings into every fucking movie that was made, and you're just like, can't we just have something fun?
Yeah. And I mean, Ethan Hawke, I love Ethan Hawke. Ethan Hawke's amazing.
Reality bites.
Yeah,
Fucked
Reality
Ethan
Bites.
Hawke for me because I'm like, dude, you're such a douchebag and you do it so well. And
that's the thing.
after
He
that,
does mostly everything so well.
he is a very, very talented actor. And on
It is.
top of that, he's also a really great director and writer, which just makes me angry. But I mean, fine, whatever. Be super talented at everything. It's fine.
And his wife is talented. And actually, his daughter's talented too. She was the one from
Yes.
Stranger Things. Yeah.
Yeah, Maya Hawke. I want to say that's her name.
Maya Hawke. But we got Laurence Fishburne,
Yeah.
Maria Bello,
John Leguizamo,
Gabriel
Aisha Hines,
Byrne,
Brian
Dennehy. Yeah.
Dennehy. Curry Graham, I love, but he was also on one of my favorite TV shows of all time, and he played a great big douchebag, and I love him so much for that. He was on Stargate SG-1.
Well,
Oh,
it's got
God.
a 6.4
Yeah.
on which is again not bad. Let's do it's got my lineup stars Laurence Fishburne, yeah, it's the best nonstop action movie, wonderful thriller, very good realistic film. That's McKinney. I don't know about realistic, but
I was gonna say.
worth your time and money. One of my favorite movies. French B+ movie. Oh, the director is French.
Yes.
Much better than the original. Badass police action thriller on New Year's Eve in the snow winter.
Good solid action movie.
I've watched this repeatedly. I don't know if I could watch it repeatedly.
Eh,
A big sexy sports car with a dent in the fender.
I mean, yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Lethally violent, mean-spirited fun.
Nowhere near as good as the original, but worth a viewing. 7 out of 10. Good remake, but no competition for Carpenter. 7 out of 10. Not as good as the original. Assault on Common Sense.
Not a pleasant assault, but still watchable. They're okay.
Yeah, we're getting down to the generic but enjoyable. Merely okay if you ignore the gaps in logic. Average siege movie. Plot holes. Get your plot holes here.
Generic, uninspired interpretation of the original.
Okay,
4
you hit the
stars.
4s.
Fantastic.
I'll go to the 3s.
This remake is not a beautiful and unique snowflake. Yet another dumb action movie, another remake where you should really just watch the original. It's a cinematic equivalent of junk food.
Sloppy,
Perfect.
boring remake. 3 out of 10. Terrible. Simply terrible. 3 out of 10. Assault on Logic. 3 out of 10. Boredom Fortress. 3 out of 10. Another cult classic gets crapped on by Hollywood. 3 out of 10.
The first 2 out of 10 is amazing. It's what is wrong with you people? This was garbage. B-grade urban actioner with a much inflated price tag. Heartbreakingly disappointed. I like one of them is just blah blah blah. I mean,
Assault on Your Brain. Beyond dumb. Assault on Common Sense. Complete waste of time. One of the worst. Whoever greenlighted this one should have been fired. Typical moron fodder. Yeah, a lot of Assault on My Senses. Stupendously awful. Wonderful cast members need rent money. All right.
That's fantastic.
Okay, well, let's go over this movie. And I think I will bring up this so we can maybe read along, or you can help me.
I can definitely try.
All right. Following a failed sting operation in which 2 fellow undercover officers are killed months prior, Detroit Police Department Sergeant Jake Ronick begins to regularly abuse alcohol and painkillers while clinging to his unambitious assignment at a desk as a desk sergeant at Precinct 13, which is due to be decommissioned. The opening I thought was good.
Yeah, I enjoyed the opening. And there's nothing better than a drug deal gone bad and being outed as police officers and then everybody getting shot. I'm down for that. I feel kind of bad though, because there she is. I recognized the actress, the one who played the female
Undercover cop at the beginning.
Yes. And I was like, what do I know you from? Because I know you. I know you. And it can't be Twitches because I saw that. But I'm like, what did I? And I didn't get a chance to look it up. But I was like, I know her from somewhere. And she is a very, if you've watched anything Canadian, she's in it. So I was like, oh, she's Canadian. That was nice. And then I didn't recognize the other cop.
No.
He dies before her. So, I mean, it's fine.
Yeah. On New Year's Eve, Ronick, Officer Jasper O'Shea, and Secretary Iris Ferry maintain a skeleton shift. Psychiatrist Alexander Sabian arrives to evaluate Ronick's fitness for duty. So you get, and there was a couple other cops there when they were getting ready to leave.
Yes.
get the whole idea. This movie, right, especially when he was on his way to work, it looked cold, it looked
Yes.
dreary, it looked fucking depressing as I looked out my window, going, God damn.
Yeah, we don't have anything dreary or snowy down here in Toronto, so it's just cold. It's cold as balls. But yeah, no, when I see him getting into the car, well, first of all, you see him waking up and you're just like, God, you're a hot mess, sir.
Yeah, and he kept the dog.
He did. He kept the dog that got punched. And I actually made a note about the punching dogs because the Russians who were trying to buy drugs from him, um, one of them punched the dog like twice. And I was
Yeah,
like,
gotta show him
they,
who's boss.
I literally wrote, they fucking punched the dog. Fuck them bitches. Because I can't. I get really angry when they abuse animals in movies, like so angry. I have to fast forward through the beginning of John Wick because I can't handle the dog being hurt.
Oh, the poor dog. Yeah.
No, I
the
can't.
puppy.
I can't do it. But anyways, he keeps the dog and then he picks up an alcohol and drug problem.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's not like fall down drunk. He's just always mildly intoxicated.
Yeah.
I
I've
don't
been
think
there.
that's helpful.
Crime boss Marion Bishop is arrested after killing an undercover policeman and is set to be transferred to prison with 3 other criminals, Beck, Anna, and Smiley. Now, I thought he knew this was a cop when because they were doing a deal at the church.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So
I think he's one of the dirty cops.
Yeah.
So he was all like, "Oh, I thought you knew how this would go. Like, do you want to come quietly or whatever?" And he's like, "Nah, fuck that shit." In church, in a Catholic church, on top of that.
Yeah.
So I actually really liked that kill. I was like, "Oh shit, Bishop is not just management. He's got some skills. He killed him real smooth, real clean."
Yeah.
And then he gets outside. The guys who are with the cop, they start shooting. His bodyguard like stands in front of him to like block him, get shot. Bishop runs away, but calmly and coolly, dressed in a lovely wool coat.
Yeah. Well, it's Laurence Fishburne.
I know, right?
Yeah. When a snowstorm shuts down the roads, the prison transport is diverted to Precinct 13, where an unprepared Roenick places the prisoners in cells. Yeah, so they're driving along, weather's shit, and
Getting shittier by the second.
Yeah, the closest precinct is Precinct 13, and Ethan Hawke's character doesn't even want him there.
Well, no, because at midnight they're supposed to be
shut down.
Shut down. The computers are gone. Most of the like gear that was there is gone, so they don't have any weapons. They don't have like Kevlar vests or anything like that. Like it's literally like we're moving everything out, guys.
Yeah.
This is not the time to bring people here. And he's like, and I wanted to leave at midnight.
Yeah, so he tells them that he's not happy that they're there. And then he was going to make them like just wait out in the bus.
Yeah. He was like, nah, fuck that shit. We're not doing it.
And it was O'Shea, Brian Dennehy's character, that says, no, bring them in. They can't stay out there. So yeah, they go in and lock them up and start celebrating New Year's.
Mm-hmm.
Masked gunmen cut off the precinct's communications and electricity and attacked the station, killing the deputies before demanding that Bishop be handed over. If you didn't watch the preview, you would have thought that this was the bad guys breaking into the bottom of the precinct. Previews, like previews do, give so much away.
They do, but I mean, they really had to tell the story because it adds to the conflict that Roenick's supposed to have, where it's like, or Roenick. I can't remember. Anyways, it adds to the conflict because now all of a sudden, like, he initially ran into problems because, 2 undercover cops were shot, and now he sees corrupt cops who are trying to kill him, and he's like, "This is just, cops are supposed to be my friends. I'm supposed to trust cops. We give our lives for each other." But nope.
I think it's Roenick. Roenick kills one of the attackers and finds he's an undercover cop working under Captain Marcus Duval of Precinct 21, which is, what's his name? Oh my God, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I forgot his name too.
Gabriel Byrne. Jesus
there we go.
Christ. Yeah. Good kill too. The thing right through the eye.
Yes.
Yeah,
It
that's a
was
good one.
fantastic. It was as soon as I saw that icicle, I was like, "Oh, he's gonna kill him with the icicle." And then he did, and it was amazing.
Bishop explains that Duvall and his team are corrupt and were formerly his business partners. They now plan to eliminate him to preserve their secret.
Mm-hmm.
And then basically, Roanoke, Ethan Hawke's character, is under the conclusion that if now that they know, they're going
Yes.
to, because O'Shea tried to send him the Bishop out at the beginning. They're like, this is who they want. Let's just give him to it. And I agree with them. I would have tried to send him out too.
We all know you would have sent him out.
Yeah. I would've sent out
They
a
wouldn't
couple of
even
other
had
people
to have
too.
asked.
No.
The minute the guy with the gun comes in, you'd be like, "Who do you want?
Yeah.
You can take him."
Yeah. Put
Go
a little
ahead.
New Year's Eve hat on him.
I'm gonna close my eyes and count to 100, and if you're gone by then, oops, never saw you here.
The precinct staff and criminals form an uneasy truce. Heavily outnumbered and outgunned, Roanoke releases the prisoners and arms them to help defend the precinct. Their combined efforts repel several more attacks, eventually leading to a stalemate. Yeah, I like this action.
Mm-hmm.
Of them trying to get into. It's a little like you think those guys outside being that heavily armed.
You'd think they would do better.
They were obviously SWAT, a bunch of them,
Yeah.
snipers, and you have an old man, a secretary, Ethan Hawke, and 2-bit criminals.
Actually, one of them technically wasn't even a criminal.
The girl?
Her.
Yeah.
He was like, "I was just looking for my sister, and then I got arrested. I didn't do nothing."
Who
And
knows
it
how
was-
to load a Tommy gun and
You learn stuff, all right? Depending on what neighborhood you grew up in, you'll learn stuff. I'm there anyways, I'm not gonna get into that. But then there's Smiley, who is like, "Hi, I'm Smiley. I'm a Libra."
yeah. And then what's his name? John Leguizamo, Beck.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who is just tweaking and
Yeah.
starting to come down off of his drugs. Looked a little greasy. Fantastic. But yeah, they do all decide to band together because they managed to fight off they managed to fight off the 2 masked gunmen who came in, who I think they were supposed to stay anonymous.
Yeah.
But then they figured out, well, shit, one of them's a cop. They must be cops. And then the outside cops, the bad cops, tried to get in. And then Ethan Hawke is the one who's like, "We all need to band together."
Uh-oh.
This is the most talking I've done all week. My throat
I've been yelling at my kids all week. I'm fine.
Yeah, see, all I have is the old man that I hang out with, and he doesn't really talk to me. We watch a lot of Portuguese TV at a ridiculous volume. So anyways, Ethan Hawke is like, "We need to band together." Sergeant Jasper O'Shea is like, "No, they're criminals. Keep them locked up. We don't need them." And Ethan Hawke's like, "Dude, have you seen what's outside? Send Bishop out. I'm responsible for him." And you can tell Roanoke is supposed to come across as a very serious cop, like who really believes in justice and doing the right thing, and he has a responsibility and he's gonna stick to it and do it, even though he shows up to work kind of drunk. But whatevs. There's a lot of juxtaposition in him.
And for those that don't 100% remember, we had at the very beginning, we had Roanoke and his therapist, played by Maribello Sabian, Dr. Sabian. And then she leaves, they have their banter and whatnot, and he steals his file from her and reads it. And then she ends up coming back because the roads are so bad. So she's stuck there as well.
In a lovely, lovely party dress.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, girl, you're in Detroit and you don't even have a cardigan over that dress? Layers.
Yeah.
Which is why I thought she was part of the plan. I was like, you're double crossing them.
Another officer, Capra, arrives and is shot at by the corrupt cops, but makes it inside. But Bishop suspects him of being sent by Duvall when he discovers an unlocked back entrance. Okay, wait a second. So yeah, they repel a bunch of things. I do like how they
Yeah.
paired off,
Yes.
and then we get the
it was
scenes
cop and
with different
criminal.
ones. Yeah, cop and criminal,
Or
cop and criminal, cop and criminal.
Cop employee and
Yeah.
criminal.
And then the other cop comes in. They shoot at him. He comes in. It's actually John Leguizamo.
Leguizamo.
Yeah, his character Beck, who is suspicious of this guy.
Yes.
And it's Bishop that says to Ethan, Ronick, do you vouch for him? Yes, I vouch for him, and they think he's okay. But Bishop sees someone talking to someone at the back door and thinks it's that cop.
Yes, because he saw a cop or someone wearing
yeah,
dark jacket. That could be. So he was like, it was him, and he took the handcuffs off the door. And he's like, it wasn't me.
So they handcuff him. Everything seems to be falling apart. These two morons, Beck and Smiley, meanwhile, secretly conspire to escape. Simultaneously, the rest of the defenders plan for Anna and Sabine to escape in Capra's SUV because the girl that's never committed a crime before knows how to hotwire a car.
Sometimes you learn these skills, okay? You may never have to put them into use in the real world, but you learn the skills.
Now, when Beck and Smiley sneak out, they are killed by Duvall's men, providing the distraction which allows Anna and Sabine to drive off. I did like this because they got pinned down, Smiley and Beck, and then Bishop's like, we can use this. And the two girls go out and she hotwires the truck and takes off.
Yes.
But they are ambushed by Duvall's right-hand man.
Who's hiding in the back seat.
Yeah.
I feel like we always check the back seat, ladies.
Yeah. So someone tipped them off, obviously. And there are a few plot holes in this movie. It's not perfect.
Yeah.
But the one, because Smiley gets...
Bless you.
Thanks. Smiley gets shot in the arm.
Yes.
And and Beck is kind of like, dude, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? And Smiley gets shot in the head.
Yeah. And then Beck, genius.
The genius that this fucking guy is, decides, you know what I'm gonna do? Instead of running along the snowbank, I'm gonna jump up on this chain link fence and climb up.
Yeah.
And give the snipers a perfect fucking shot at me.
The perfect fucking shot, and just enough so much time to take the shot.
Yeah.
They were leisurely lining up the shot because he is not a fast fence
Yeah, he's not even
climber.
going up he's going up realistically.
Yeah. If you're an out of shape middle-aged guy, that's the rate he was going up.
Yeah.
That fence. Yeah. I'm like, shit, I think even I could go up that fence faster.
But when he's jumping on the fence and starts climbing, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
When he was like, yeah, I'm like, what are you? Why would you just? I'm like, sure, give him a bigger target. Then he gets shot in the head.
And then he gets shot in the head.
And I mean, to be perfectly honest, he kind of asked for it. Like, he asked for it. And there's nothing really you can say about that.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and then Anna and Sabine, the doctor, drive off, but they're ambushed. And now you see them kill Anna.
Yes.
And then you don't see them kill the doctor.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, maybe because I don't remember anything. I do not remember.
I did not remember any of this movie.
Maybe she makes it out.
I remembered vibes from this movie. So I was like, oh, did the doctor die in the crash? And then we find out.
And they just didn't show it. And then they we find out they don't. They take her.
Yes.
Whilst DeVille kills Sabian. Oh, yes. So they ask her how many are in there. And she says 100. And then he's like, ha, 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 and then shoots her in the head.
Yeah,
I was shocked at that. I'm like, oh, guess she does.
I was left a little unsatisfied at that scene because I was like, that's it? You're not even going to smack her around a little bit?
No. Well, they don't have time.
100. No, tell me the real answer. No. Shoot. Okay. I'm like, done.
Like if there are two of them there, I could see it.
Yeah.
So then you ask the second person, how many are in there? Oh, 5.
It just went super quick.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was
I
just like,
thought
oh.
when they didn't show her get killed, I thought, oh, the sexy doctor makes it, and then he shoots her. I'm like, oh, the sexy doctor didn't make it.
No, she did not make
No.
it. And I really
Yeah.
thought she was gonna make it so that like there could be a love interest there.
Yeah,
But
and
no.
that's why I thought maybe they did it. And I appreciate that when movies. I like it both ways. Like
Yeah.
we've established, I'm very easily entertained.
You really are.
And Jimmy does like a nice happy ending where, oh look, Ethan Hawke and the Coyote Girl get together.
Maria Bello, yes.
But I do appreciate it when they kind of switch it and like, oh, I did not expect them to shoot.
See, for me, I just kind of felt bad for Ronik because I was like, sir,
Yeah,
you were
didn't get
so
to hit
close.
that.
Because she looked a little interested. Like once
Yeah.
he said, yeah, you want to sleep with me. And she was like, she had that little twinkle in her eye. And I was like, oh, she does. This is a shock. And then, like they kind of had a couple moments and I was like, oh, okay. And then all of a sudden she gets shot in the head. And I was like, oh, he's not getting laid.
Nope. Okay, when the snowfall subsides, Duvall calls in a corrupt SWAT team who land on the roof of the precinct. Yeah, so throughout the movie, they're asking, like, when is the weather letting up? When can we get the AV here? The AV here? I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about? Oh, the air vehicle. The helicopters comes in.
I had a moment where I was like, this must be costing them a lot of money. And then I realized they're using all of the police resources. So I'm like,
taxpayers' money.
This is so weird. How are they going to write up this report?
Yeah.
I don't understand. I had that moment and then I was like, wait, action movie. Nobody cares. Nobody's doing paperwork in these movies.
But I did like it as they tried to go in through the roof.
Yes.
Now the defenders flee through a utility tunnel underneath the building, and this is when Bishop and Ronik are putting the gasoline throughout the precinct and set it on fire, and they're shooting, and then the air guy, the SWAT team or whatever, has to jump out the windows to get out.
Yes, I did appreciate that. Also, when everything went up in flames, I was like, oh, that's a super controlled fire in a wooden building.
Yeah.
There was wood everywhere. And it was it's really sticking to just that one little corridor. And it was like impressive.
Yeah. Emerging from the tunnel, they find themselves surrounded by Duvall's men. The traitor is revealed to be O'Shea and not Capra. Fucking Irish. As Duvall never trust the Irish. Probably got all that information for Mickey.
Dude.
As Duvall prepares to kill the others, Bishop secretly plants a flashbang grenade in O'Shea. I like this scene because they did work on O'Shea and Bishop hating each other right from the beginning. They had banter throughout the entire movie. So when he tried to egg O'Shea into coming over, it was you could see that it flowed very naturally.
Yes.
And he put the grenade in his pocket and it blew up. And he whispered to Ronik to close your eyes.
Yeah. He held up the pin and he's like, close your eyes. And the one thing I really love is they established throughout this conflict, excuse me, that they did have those flashbangs. And God, were they fucking bright.
Oh, man. They lit that precinct up good.
Lit it right up. And I was like, you know what? It's great because then that flashes up. And of course, whatever materials are in it, because they always say close your eyes and cover your ears for those.
Yeah.
But then there's so much like, I guess, phosphorus that ends up on everything. So if you imagine that igniting on you, and then when they showed him, and I was like, oh, nice.
Yeah. Looked like it hurt.
It looked like it hurt. And it also looked like it was just enough damage. Like they didn't go over the top with the damage.
No, but
of
Wikipedia
what a
says
flashbang would give you.
Mortally wounding him.
Well, yeah. It's to the gut. Like his entire torso was torn up. And I was like, nice. But it wasn't like guts hanging out torn up.
No.
It was they dragged you on the road, on a gravel road for a few miles, torn up.
Yeah. In the confusion, Iris and Capra flee into Vol's SUV.
Mm-hmm.
Kahan shoots out the tires using the vehicle to crash and knock Capra unconscious, but Iris manages to kill Kahan after a struggle. Yeah, that was a pretty good fight scene or struggle scene.
Yeah, Iris is very, very smart, and I enjoy her immensely.
Yeah, I like that she survived. I always have a soft spot for slutty women, so I'm very glad she made it.
We are not calling her slutty.
I
She
meant
is
it
just
as a
fun-loving.
compliment.
She
Yeah,
is
she loves
fun-loving.
a lot.
She loves everybody.
Wink.
Several times a night. She loves everybody, and she is
I love the
telling people.
story. Yeah, the story she told at the beginning of the movie.
Yes, where the left fielder is watching her have spontaneous sex with like a guy she's out with, and she's like, and I like it when people watch. And I
Yeah.
was like, girl, good for you. And then when Ronak comes in, she's like, can we like get off early? Come on, let's just close up shop a little early. I'm wearing my sexy boots. I was like, man, you must be so much fun at a party. I love you. But anyways, she is very much awake. Capra's kind of in and out, but she's like, Capra, you awake? He's like, yeah. Pretend you're dead.
Yeah.
And so he just has to lay there.
Yeah.
Good
that'd
job.
be me.
Yeah, for reals. And then she gets out and she manages to hit Kuhan over the head. And they get into a struggle. And I love it because it's a realistic struggle. Like she's doing all the stuff that us women are
the
taught.
fighting back. Yeah.
Like the eyes,
and-
for the throat. Like I think she was trying to reach the Adam's
Larynx.
apple, like Bishop told her.
Oh yeah, right. Yep.
There was the whole rumor that Bishop like ripped a guy's
Someone's
spine out.
And he said no, it was someone's.
And he was like,
Adam's
no, it
apple.
was an Adam's apple.
Yeah.
All you got to do is hold on and then just like hold on tight and pull. And I was like, ooh, that's
That would
good.
suck.
I like that. I could totally take out someone's Adam's apple. But I'm not going to try it unless I'm in mortal danger. But anyways, so you see the struggle and it's realistic. He's not completely overpowering her, but he does get the upper hand a few times. And then she grabs, this is what happens when you have too many weapons on you, grabs a knife and then just straight up into the chin.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, it was realistic and it looked cool too. And it looked like it hurt.
Also, the knife didn't go just like straight in. It was kind of at an angle.
Yeah.
Like it looked like this was not a professional hit. So I was like, oh, good job, guys.
Duvall chases Ronak and Bishop into a nearby forest where they ambush and kill the remaining forces. However, Duvall shoots and wounds Bishop before being killed by Ronak, who is himself injured in the process. Yeah, this was cool. Like the whole forest scene. They could have ended it. Yeah.
Can we just talk about real quick how well lit that scene
forest?
is? The lighting is fucking insane. It gave it such a great ethereal, like almost not real vibe.
Yeah, well, it actually looks like kind of like if you're out in the country and it's just the full moon, and it really did look like that, which is impressive.
Very impressive, very impressive. I was like, whoever the DP was on this, amazing.
And I liked how they bump into each other, and Ronak is like, okay, I'll distract them. You'll see the muzzle because they had their night vision goggles, and Bishop's like, they can see us, we can't see shit. And Ronak's like, I will distract them, but you better not fucking miss. And you get that whole thing where he sees the muzzles shooting off and going.
Well, it's funny because then the Bishop's like, run fast.
Yeah, yeah.
Run fast.
And then we get the thing with Gabriel Byrne's character and Ethan Hawke's character. He's going to take him in, and they both draw on each other, and Ronak gets shot, Ethan Hawke gets shot, and Gabriel Byrne gets shot right in the head.
My favorite part was that Ethan Hawke got shot in the same leg.
Yeah, yeah. Because he seems really pissed off that
He's
happened.
extra pissed off about it. He's like, fuck. And it was like, oh my God, it's the same leg.
The same leg.
He finally stopped limping.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not limping anymore. Now he got shot in the same fucking leg.
Yeah, that was amazing.
And then he's like, he thinks he's going to take Bishop in, and Bishop's like, no. And he goes, and if you try to follow me, I'll shoot you. And
Yeah.
it's been pretty clear throughout the whole movie that Bishop, while cool,
Yes.
is still a bad guy, and he's still doing bad guy things. And he makes it quite
Yes.
clear to everybody that he is a bad guy. Like, don't mistake him. And he tells them it's for, what does he keep saying to him? Preservation.
Yes.
Yeah, everything
Like
I'm doing is for preservation. So
he has the minions to do the dirty work for him, but he's like,
Yeah.
I still know how to do the dirty work. So like, I will come out of this.
yeah, we're not buddies.
We're not friends.
No.
We're trucing it
Yeah,
until we can both walk away. And if you don't
And-
let me walk away, I'm gonna shoot you. And it's
And
like, you
then-
got to respect that. He's very honest. Because at one point he says, I don't lie.
yeah. I
And I
never
was
tell
like-
a lie.
I never tell a lie. And I was like, you know what? That's a really good point. And that also proves why Duval would not want him to
Yeah.
be caught. Because he can't, or he won't lie, more accurately.
Following this, an injured Bishop takes Ronek's gun and flees. And Ronek promises to personally arrest him in the future. When Iris arrives with the police and firemen, Ronek claims that only he and Duval's gang are present, knowing that Bishop can't go too far, but wanting to give him the illusion of liberty. As the authorities secure the area, Ronek and Iris leave the forest as the sun rises. I'm going to say that's our movie, but Iris says something about that she likes this badass take charge.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, well, get used to it. And I thought, why did you end on a corny note?
Because they
You're
were
gonna-
setting up a sequel.
Yeah. Not on $35 million worldwide. You're not.
Fuck no. But it was the door. This is one of the things about the movies in the 2000s, especially the like 2000 to probably 2006 time. They always left the door open for a sequel at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And it was just a waiting game to see how it did at the box office. And if it
Yep.
did well enough, they're like, beautiful, let's make a sequel, whether it needed one or not. But one of the things I really appreciated is when Iris comes in with like the first responders and whatever, she's like, don't worry, we're sticking with the firemen. There are firemen here. We're going to stick with the firemen.
Yeah.
Because obviously cops are coming too.
Yeah. Who's
And
good,
it's that
who's
moment
bad.
of like, who's good, who's bad, who's going to try and shoot us in the head. But I did like the whole, like when Iris is like, ooh, this is nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's like,
'cause
yeah,
she's always after the
I'm
bad
back.
boy.
I know, right? I mean, for a while there, I thought she was going to run off with Bishop. So I was really surprised when she was still there. I was like, oh, Iris, look at you hanging around to get help for this little man. That's nice.
And that is our movie, Assault on Precinct 13, 2005. I don't know what Precinct 19 was doing during this movie, but
That's
they
the
weren't
sequel that
helping.
never got made.
Yeah. So what's your score?
My score is a rent it. It's a rent it. Mainly because I rented it and I'm not mad about it.
Yeah.
I paid $4.99 for it. I think that's perfectly respectable. It was a good way to spend an hour and 46 minutes. It sets up the story. You get a glimpse into enough of the characters. It has a lot of solid action, lots of car like crashes, chases, shooting, things blowing up, those flashbangs that are so fucking bright. And it's a great little where like the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah.
And they work through it. And at the end, they're not, hey buddy. It's like, I'm gonna walk away, you're gonna let me, or I'm gonna shoot you. And Ronek's just like, all right, peace out, man. Then when they say, is anybody else out here? He's like, no, nobody else is out here. And that was just enough. And I'm like, this was just a straightforward, relatively entertaining action movie. Is it something I'm gonna watch on repeat? No. But I mean, if it ever pops up on TV and I'm bored, yeah, I will 100% watch it because
Yeah.
it's there.
Yeah.
It's not
No,
something I would seek out.
I actually agree. I say it's a solid rent it. Again, I didn't buy it. I rented it, and yeah, I was not mad about it. I enjoyed it. If I saw it if I bought it for $5 or $6 or $7, I
Mm.
wouldn't have been overly mad. This is not like you just said, something that I'm going to watch anytime soon. But yeah, if I see it on a streamer, I'd watch it again, and
Oh, yeah.
maybe a few years down the road, and I see it come up for rent. Yeah, I might rent it again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't pay I wouldn't pay $15-20 for this.
No,
No.
to buy it, it was $14.99.
Yeah,
So
no.
I saw the buy and I saw the rent, and I said, you know what? I know I watched this once.
I was thinking about it too.
but
why?
I don't know. I was like, but why did I only
Why
watch
haven't
it
I seen it
once?
since
Yeah.
2005?
So I was like, let me rent it just to be on the safe side. And I rented it and I was like, okay, this is worth $5. So if they had it for purchase for $5, 100% I would have bought it.
Yep.
And
Yep.
then it would have been in my library. And you know what? Every once in a while, when I wanted something mindless while I'm doing laundry or cleaning something or organizing something, I would put that on in the background. This is a really, really great kind of fun background movie.
Yeah.
Where like every time you kind of tune into it, you're like, oh yeah, you blowed up something else. Great. But it's
You
not
wasted another 857 bullets. Sweet.
yeah. Don't even get me started on action movie shooting.
Oh,
Because this one had this weird thing where it's like the bad guys were shooting 50 million bullets.
so many
And-
bullets.
And Ethan Hawke just had to shoot like 5 to kill 5 people. And
Yeah.
I'm like, so you're telling me the SWAT team snipers like Vice, they don't know how to shoot people in the head
No.
unless they're climbing a fence?
It was snowing. Yeah. Unless they're climbing the fence, taking their sweet ass time.
Yeah.
So what did this movie do right? Because we're not saying buy it, but we're not saying just stream it. We're saying like it's worth a few bucks to rent. Because I couldn't find it on a streamer. So
Yeah.
if you remember liking it, we are saying, yeah, it's worth a rental.
It's
So
worth a rental if you remember.
What the
liking
movie
it.
do right?
I think it did the action right. Because there was a level of realism to it. It wasn't super slick. It wasn't overly hyped. It kind of stayed at the expertise level that you would expect of metropolitan cops. Not everybody's going to be a martial arts expert. Not everybody's going to be able to flip over cars and whatever. They were all doing regular stuff, but it was good fights and it was normal fights, but they were extensive fights. And I was like, I like the action. I like how everything, like the flashbangs were incredibly, like those were my favorites for some reason. They really stuck out of my mind because they lit up the entire precinct. It was nuts, but I think they did the action right. And some of the dialogue.
I was gonna say the dialogue was pretty good.
Yeah.
Wasn't overly stand. It didn't stand out.
Yeah.
It wasn't Quentin Tarantino, but it was. I think what it did right was it had the actors.
Oh, 100%.
Like it was the dialogue was decent, and
Yeah.
you had the actors, and that went a long way. Like you had a lot of actors in this movie, a lot of good actors in this movie.
A lot of really great actors.
Yeah.
Really, really great actors.
What did it do wrong?
I think it made it too convoluted.
Could have, yeah.
I think there was too much. I think they could have streamlined the plot line a little bit. Streamlined
Shave
the
a few
plot.
minutes down, and yeah.
Shave a few minutes down. I think they could have definitely done a more efficient job of introducing the criminals who are with Bishop. And I mean, they did an okay job establishing. I think the opening scene might have been a smidge too long, even though it's set up how Ronak got there. But I was like, this feels kind of like the first 46 minutes felt a little too long.
Yeah.
Once Bishop makes it onto the bus, I felt like the movie picked up and got a better pace. But I think they could have streamlined it a little bit.
I wonder if this movie would have done better if it had more of an action, like the slow-mo jumping and shooting. Maybe you should have had a karate guy in there. That might have just been like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah. They would have been like, really? The guy who's been drunk and high for like the last couple or the last like year is really going to be jumping over. Like he was already doing quite a bit of like jumping behind things and running away from bullets and never getting hit.
Yeah. But you are right. It was realistic in the sense because they were reacting like you would in real life. This wasn't just running and jumping like the slow-mo jumps, and this was like awkwardly trying to move around and not get hit type thing. Realistically, more people inside the building should have got hit, but
Oh,
they
yeah,
they
100%.
did react very realistically, or at least our
From
definition of
what
realistic.
it felt more natural,
Yeah.
we'll put it, rather than everybody miraculously being able to move at the speed of light or being able to hop over, counters and whatever. There was just some stuff where, and there was a lot of like, what are you doing? Get out of the way. And I like that in action movies because not everybody is trained. But for some reason, mind you, where was one of the scenes? I think they were. Oh, it was in the very beginning. This got on my nerves a little bit when the female undercover cop goes outside and she's scanning the area. She's literally
yeah.
just standing in the middle of that area, not covered at all.
No.
Like,
Is
she's
this
not
like the
standing-
garbage?
Yeah.
I did kind of like that. Yeah, you wouldn't stand like that, but I did like how the guy disappeared behind the trash.
That I liked.
And then
That I
she's
liked
like,
a lot.
fuck, is he going to come out the right or the left?
Yes.
I would have screamed and ran away.
Yes, you would have.
Yeah.
But she had bigger balls than you, so she stayed.
Yeah.
But like I was like, a cop would never do that. So I'm like, eh. But overall, I was also like, well, I mean, she had to pretend to wake up from like a drug-induced like sleep and then like run down the hall, run outside, go looking for the guy who just shot her coworkers.
Yeah.
It's so fantastic. Honestly, it's a fun movie and it is a little more realistic or natural in its action.
Yeah.
It could have been streamlined a little bit, could have been cleaned up a little bit, but it's not bad at all.
No. So if you remember liking Assault on Precinct 13 from 2005, you probably will like it again. We're not saying buy it. It is worth a rental. The actors play a heavy part in this being as good as it was. But yeah, I wouldn't spend too much on this movie.
No.
No.
If you can buy it for like a severe discount.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Maybe.
I was fine with renting it.
Yeah, me too.
If I would have paid $15, I would have been like, ugh.
Oh yeah, no, I would have been a little pissed because
Yeah.
I'd be like, well, now I got to watch it at least 3 times to make it worthwhile.
Yeah. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah.
Buy a movie, and there's movies that I can do that easily.
Yeah.
And then there's this one, like I said, like you said, if I see it down the road, yeah, I'll watch it on TV. I might even rent it in 4 or 5 years if I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming back to 2005 and watching us or talking about Assault on Precinct 13. Tell us if you liked it or did not like it below. And oh, wait, what am I going? Oh, I keep forgetting. Until the next movie, remember liking.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.